you have kumkum, please apply the ash and have the kumkum and sit straight. Visualize Bhagwan in your third eye and let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Vandvatitam Gagana Sadusham Tattamasya Vilaksham Ekam Nityam Vinalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, with such a beautiful space, the powerful space that Bhagwan himself is taking every day live session for us to get the darshan, diksha and initiation into the higher reality. Now first let's see what is power manifestation, and from there we will start one by one understanding the power manifestation, going into the details of every step of power manifestation. Power manifestation is nothing but a cognitive shift and an infuse of powerfulness into any action or state that we are in. It raises the frequency of our body and mind to the ultimate powerful space, which is Turyathita. We know three states: waking state, deep sleep state and dream state. There is much more as a human being which we can experience, where Siddhas and Rishis have manifested. That is the Turiya state, high awareness, the trance state, and the conscious state, Turyathita state, the consciousness itself as our reality. So here we have a small clipping that Bhagwan himself speaks about the power manifestation. What is power manifestation?
Understand all the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I've added the ultimate powerfulness, Turyathita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Bhagwan beautifully described how we can raise our cognition if we are intense, understanding how Paramashiva in us can manifest the reality that we want. Now let's understand about Paramashiva. What is actually happening? The 5 phases and 5 phases of Paramashiva. The Srishti, the manifestation; Sthiti, the sustenance; the Samhara, regeneration or destruction; Prabhava, the pulling out of delusions; and Anugraha, the liberation itself happens. Now we'll hear it from Bhagwan's. Start living the higher truth of reality, the existential reality. We have a small clipping of the 5 phases and 5 paces.
Through the 5 phases, Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha, Radhomuha, unborn, beyond formlessness, is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 phases as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 phases he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation; Sthiti, sustenance; Samhara, rejuvenation; Trobhava, pulling out of delusion; Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation, not just creation getting created, even sustenance need to be created, destruction need to be created, and pulling out of delusion need to be created, liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, trobhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. and anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 face, Ishana Murti as 5 face, Vamadeva Murti as 5 face, Agora Murti has 5 face, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 face. So, Tatpurusha Murti as is 5 face, Agora Murti has is 5 face, Vamadeva Murti has is 5 face, Satyojata Murti has his 5 face, Ishana Murti has his 5 face. All these 5 Murtis, 5 faces put together is 25 faces of Mahasannidhanam. Understand? All these 25. I'll repeat, listen. Creation created, manifestation manifested, 1 face. Sustenance manifested, 2nd phase. Destruction manifested, 3rd phase. Pulling out of delusion manifested, 4th phase. Liberation manifested, 5th phase. Then manifestation sustained, 6th phase. The sustenance is sustained, 7th phase. Destruction, rejuvenation is sustained, 8th phase. Pulling out of delusion is sustained, 9th phase. Liberation is sustained, 10th phase. Listen. Then rejuvenation, destruction, rejuvenation is manifested, 11th phase. Rejuvenation is sustained, 12th phase. Rejuvenation is rejuvenated, is 13th phase. Rejuvenation is pulled out of delusion, 14th phase. Rejuvenation is liberated, is 15th phase. Same way, continue. Pulling out of delusion, Prabhava. Prabhava manifested, 16th phase. Prabhava sustained, 17th phase. Prabhava rejuvenated, 18th phase. Prabhava is pulled out of delusion, 19th phase. Prabhava is liberated, 20th phase. Then again, listen, Anugraha, liberation manifested, 21st phase. Liberation sustained, 22nd phase. Liberation is rejuvenated, 23rd phase. Liberation is pulled out of delusion, 24th phase. Liberation is liberated, 25th phase. Listen, these are the dimensions of Paramashiva. Understand? Meditate on this. That is enough. If your inner space can meditate on this, that's enough. All negativities will be burnt away. The most subtle grooves which will be formed in your brain by meditating on this will manifest the state, space, powers of Paramashiva.
Beautifully, Bhagavan now explained the state, space, and being of Paramashiva in all of us. Here we have Bhagavan himself, Paramashiva himself has come down as our Guru to understand Bhagavan, how he has manifested this avatar space. His Divine Holiness Nithyananda Paramashivam is a reviver of Kailasa, an ancient enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic bounderless Hindu nation. His Divine Holiness Nithyananda Paramashivam is an avatar from Hinduism and a supreme pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness Nithyananda Paramashivam made science of power manifestation, yoga, temple-based university user-friendly for the modern world. And he survived the worst prosecution in the multi-level by anti-Hindu elements. Kailasa, led by His Divine Holiness Nithyananda Paramashivam and his Hindu diaspora, are working for global peace. His Divine Holiness Nithyananda Paramashivam is a founder of Nithyananda University, which has extended campus in 150 countries. His Divine Holiness Nithyananda Paramashivam is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamala Pita Sarvanya Pitam and Swaragapura Adinam and present Maharaj of Suryavamsa Surangi Samrajyam. We'll have a small clipping of Bhagavan himself, how he has manifested this reality from he has manifested from a village boy to how he has manifested into Kailaasa. A small clipping we'll be playing now.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva gana. All the Shiva ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. As Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva, when you choose your Guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach. Let us go on contributing.
Bhagavan beautifully explains how we have to choose a guru who gives the authentic references. Here, Bhagavan has compiled all the Hindu scriptures. The Hindu scriptures are the Shastra Pramana, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures. We'll be going through the Shastra Pramana, how the Shastra has described what we'll be manifesting today. The Apta Pramana, or the experience and results of Aptas, the great rishis, the scientists who verified and tested, the Munis, the Nayanamars, all of them experienced in their physical body, like all of us, in human body, these great powers. And Atma Pramana, as a guru, that Bhagavan was just saying, he has to experience and show us in human body, playing the Leela of a human being and experiencing the higher consciousness and giving us step by step understanding of how to manifest the powers with connecting to the space of Bhagavan. The Shakshi Pramanas, or the experience of millions of disciples and devotees all over the world that Bhagavan has initiated, who has given testimonial. So we'll be looking into the all four Pramanas. Now we'll start with the Shastra Pramana.
Shastra Pramana for the power of remote vision is taken from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 92, Dharana 69. Vyomakaram swamatmanam dhyayed digbir anavritam nirashraya chitih shakti swarupam darshayet tada. Vyomakaram swam atmanam dhyayed digbir anavritam nirashraya chitih shakti swarupam darshayet tada.
This is from Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 92, Dharana 69. Concentrate and cognize with a restful awareness on self in the form of vast etheric space or sky, Yomakaram, which is limitless in any direction whatsoever. Thus, the Chidik Shakti, the power of consciousness, freed from all support, reveals and manifests herself as the form of one's essential nature of the self. Understand the beautiful sutra, how the rishis were able to see much beyond, just giving us step-by-step process. There is so much how we have an instruction in a lab You can do this at the first and then go to do this and then you do this. Like that, he here beautifully described concentrate. What is to concentrate? When we are integrated to our Guru, when we are in oneness with the Guru, that Bhagavan himself starts manifesting as the reality. Concentrate is bringing the coherence in our brain, what we are integrated to. If we are integrated to the higher consciousness, we will be only focusing, concentrating, seeking for the real truths. That is the coherence that happens in the brain. How a dam, the pipe is put where the water is fed into the turbine to create the electricity. The dhyana and samadhi happens like that when you bring one coherence in your brain, what you really want. The integrity is a component where you are very clear what you want in your life. That is the concentrate that he is talking about here. Cognize with restful awareness on the self. What is cognize? What you internalize, and you are able to start contemplating and you are able to project as your reality. Cognition is 3 action which is happening. What you internalize by perceiving from outer world and how you hold that as part of you and how you respond to it. That is cognition. Here, cognition, he's talking about restful awareness, where you are unclutching from this world, understanding this world, whatever you're perceiving is nothing but a dream. Nothing more than a dream is happening in your life as an outer world. The perception that you're having is not reality. The existential reality is much greater when you wake up from this dream. So cognizing the restful awareness where you have completely zero thoughts, completely in oneness space inside you. The beautiful next line describes that. In the form of vast etheric space or vyomakaram. What is the etheric space? What is ether? The vast kala which happens in your, when you are in the womb, in the pregnancy, it is growing in that darkness, the kala. And the same thing is in your inner space now, which you experience as you. That etheric space, Bhagavan beautifully says in one of the satsang that you can look out when you have a large window where you have a large sky or an ocean. You can look out and focus on that, or you can focus on the inner space. The more we are working with our inner space, we understand life much beyond. The more you're with the outer world, you're caught in the delusion, the dilemmas, the dialogues, which does not take you anywhere except boredom and tiredness. Whenever you are able to look into your inner space, you understand the restful awareness is where you exist, which is the nature of yourself. Now he says, which is limitless in any direction. The inner space can expand into any direction whatsoever. Thus the Chitta Shakti, the power of consciousness. When you are in Paramashanta Swarupa, when you are completely the coherence of the brain, starts focusing in your inner space with a restful awareness, the third dimension of you, you know only body, you know only which is matter, and again the mind, which is again the matter, but there is a third component of you, which is the consciousness. You will learn to live as consciousness. Bhagavan beautifully gives an example how the waves try to collect some pebbles and try to think they are going to build a castle, but soon it is wiped off. The same way we think family, job security, wealth security, all this are continuously going to give us something which is going to satisfy us. But something more is there when we understand when the wave merges to ocean, the ocean is what creates even the wave. We start coming into a bigger picture. When you let go your mind, which is just mere outer world, the bigger component of Bhagavan himself will start manifesting through us. That is what it says, freed from all support, reveal and manifest as the form of one's essential nature of the self. Your essential nature starts happening in you. The more and more you start living in the oneness space, the more you start understanding the higher reality. Now we understood the Shastra Pramana, the steps in Shastra Pramana. Concentrate, cognize in the inner space with restful awareness, and you will be able to experience the consciousness, the Paramashiva that you are, as reality, which is your very nature of you. Now we will see the next, after Shastra Pramana, we have the Apta Pramana. Apta Pramana is the Rishis and Munis. This will give you an idea. I'm talking about Vyasa. Vyasa is a great Rishi, the greatest happening on planet Earth, who compiled and organized everything for us to understand. So during the Mahabharata, Dhritarashtra was not able to see what's happening. The king was not able to understand what's going on. And so Vyasa initiated Sanjaya for just 19 days to experience this great Mahabharata which happened, and he was actually given the gift, because he was given the gift of 19 days to have a remote vision, the third eye, through which he was able to see Mahabharata. He also had a great gift of listening to Bhagavad Gita when it was really delivered to Arjuna by Krishna, Lord Krishna. That was the greatest happening that Dhritarashtra got to hear. He didn't want to see it because of the so many violence that was happening. So he requested to listen to the whole thing. Here's the reference from Mahabharata, Bhishma Parva 06, section 15. This is the Apta Pramana, and there's so many other references. We are here giving you one reference, how it is recorded. All these are recorded and documented, and how precise. Bhagavan has compiled all this with greatest effort to make us understand how people live, manifesting their life again and again, to make us understand the higher reality. And Bhagavan himself playing the Leela. Once he was a child and he was asked, can you tell anything which is beyond your senses? And Bhagavan said, yes, I can. And the boy said, okay, tomorrow we will come and question you. You should be able to answer. And Bhagavan ran to Vibhudananda Puri and said, this is what the kids are betting, and they're saying only through 5 senses. I told them that we can learn beyond that, just not only through 5 senses. There's much more to learn beyond the 5 senses. We educate our children saying that only these 5 senses can learn things, which is the worst delusion that we are putting our kids into. Downloading anything which is possible for our brain to grasp how these great truths have been revealed by so many millions of them, including the Tirupugar, which was sung by Arunagiri Nadar when he just did an instant completion, which is recorded again. So many instances we have, but unfortunately we are given that only we can learn through 5 senses. So he plays the Leela of showing us that only by 5 senses is not just the world, but something more is there, and something larger. Whatever is recorded on planet Earth or any other planet or any other lokas can be downloaded by us if we just connect to the correct software, which is Bhagavan himself. Paramashiva, when you connect in oneness with Paramashiva, the currency here we are talking about is oneness, which I'll explain in a few minutes. Now the Atma Pramana, what Bhagavan did, he completely surrendered and let the information flow through him when he was asked about a temple in Tiruvannamalai, which he has never been, and the kids know he has never been to the temple. It's a remote, some small temple which nobody knew what was the main deity. And Bhagavan beautifully explains that it is Subramanya, the Muruga deity, in that temple as a main deity, which shook the friends thoroughly. How did he know this information? And he said, when you connect yourself to the higher consciousness, you can reveal any information that you want, because everything is available. How we connect through internet, same way we can connect to the higher reality. Now, before we go to the instruction, let us understand and cognize these powerful cognitions, these beautiful things, first in how we understand these words, Shakti, Pada, oneness, and then we'll go to the instruction. Here is, before you go, I just missed the Shakshi Pramanas. Here is a Shakshi Pramana of Anup Ramdas. He has clearly told that he has found things by scanning. He's able to see things and find things in a house using the remote vision. Here we have one more Soundril from Middle East who has given us a testimonial of how he was seeing Bhagavan worshipping the Ganesha statue. He got to know before itself, and the same thing happened to him as reality. All this again and again and again. We have lakhs of devotees giving testimonials of Shakshi Pramanas. And now you will be experiencing all this by yourself. Let's go to the few terms and we'll listen from Bhagavan himself about these beautiful words. First is the Shakti Pada. We keep saying the word Shakti Pada. What is Shakti Pada? Becoming one with the cosmic soul. Shakti Pada, the process. It is the presence just sitting that makes the individual soul one with the cosmic soul. When you are in the oneness continuously with Bhagavan, suddenly you realize that you are the Paramashiva who is manifesting everything in your life. Now we'll have a small clipping of Shakti Pada by Bhagavan himself, explaining it beautifully. Yes, we are waiting for some technical glitch. Sorry for the technical glitch. Yes, we'll go over the other two also as we wait. The oneness. Paramashiva himself has revealed the truth about oneness, which is not an imagination or visualization or declaration. It is the true nature of our very space, the ether, space. Oneness takes you beyond tiredness and boredom. It is the ferociousness which breaks the tiredness and boredom. Now we'll see the Shaktipada clipping and then come to the oneness.
Let me give an introduction about what is Shaktipada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and our egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and hen used to sit on the egg and the chicken will come out of the egg. See, same way, Sadashiva, sitting, means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hen sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen, same way. You may think, how come, what is going on here? That hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen, the egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside. It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence, the Shaktipada, makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautiful. Bhagavan himself described it. Here we have the oneness, the most important part of the power manifestation. The oneness is the currency. How you have the currency of the outer world, money, the biggest delusion that you think it's the most important. Here, the oneness is the greatest currency, and Bhagavan lived only in this currency throughout his life. Here Bhagavan reveals what is the oneness. It is not the imagination, visualization or declaration. It is the true nature, who you are, what you are. If you think you are male, female, how much you feel one with that concept. The oneness is that much you feel with Paramashiva. When the great rishis, munis, when we ask them who they are, they simply will reply that they are Paramashiva. They do not tell that they are so and so and they refer them as a person, but they just refer themselves as consciousness. We have seen many references to that. Now we'll have Bhagavan himself explain how the tiredness and boredom can be broken with ferociousness to enter the space of oneness with Paramashiva.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. And an idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Agama, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space, means you should become ferocious with you and break this very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level, visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, it just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens, and the oneness from imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
So beautiful. Bhagavan explained how the oneness is the currency, which is the space, who you are. That's all about it. Be unclutched. What is unclutched? The neutral space between two thoughts is to be unclutched. When you are continuous happening, the thoughts are continuous happening, we are in connection with the outer world. When we unclutch from that, let go a little bit and step out of that. How you step out of the room for a nice breath, like that, when you step out, something vast is there. And which is the space of unclutch, which is silence, which is the bliss, which is the ultimate space that you can experience. Now we'll listen to Bhagavan's words itself, because each of the words become the mantra. When we listen and get initiated into all these from Bhagavan's words, again and again listening to this, just by listening, we can experience those words into reality. That is the power of listening to a guru, because he speaks from no mind. We also fall into the same space. When you keep on listening to the guru, you start really experiencing this. That is why we are again and again playing this beautiful clipping. Now we'll be seeing a small clipping on unclutch. Sorry for the technical glitch. We'll be with you in a few seconds playing the unclutch video.
The thought, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected and unclutched, because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small, you think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shape form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected and unclutched. Between every thought you experience a neutral space. When you change the gear, whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, between every thought you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thought. Between every thought. That neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you, between every thought, the gap of the thought, the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand you are unconnected, independent, illogical and unclutched, by your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you, neutral space which exists in you. You will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. We need to understand one more thing. This technique of being unclutched, it does miracles in your being. In the body level, or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, when you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are unclutched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump, the transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just on jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
Yes, beautifully Bhagwan gave us how the unclutch works. Now, few more things which we want to go through is initiation, the most important. Bhagwan's darshan is so important because the whole space that shifts when Bhagwan initiates us. When you go into a temple, the frequency changes in you. That is why you experience the peace inside. Suddenly your thoughts just drop to a very low level. That is the frequency increase in you. That is exactly which happens when you see Bhagwan in even a flyer or even one small corner. Something else happens in all of us, which is the initiation. Bhagwan initiates through everything, Facebook or in real, putting his hand on your head. Everything is an initiation. Every word is an initiation. Understanding that it's beyond words that Bhagwan is giving us, that which cannot be grasped by the words, because the words are still in the mind. Mind cannot grasp what is consciousness. How the wave cannot understand the ocean. The ocean is too large for the wave to understand. It can only just merge. It's not a work, but it's just an experience. Same way, when we move from the words to the experience beyond that, that Bhagwan has initiated us into the higher reality. So we will hear a small clipping on initiation before we go into the instruction for power manifestation.
let me explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now, you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me, why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. These all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you, before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminder. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes these external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just a nice way of escaping from yourself.
So we listen to the initiation, which is Bhagavan's presence itself. The initiation is what which makes the whole thing open up in us. The next dimension, next reality opens up in us. Bhagavan speaks about Mahavakya as the password, because most of us, we are not integrated. Even though he keeps talking about it, we have some incompletion or some pain or something which is going on in the outer world, which is standing much more important to us than ourselves, the higher consciousness that we are to realize ourselves. So to bring that consciousness back to the higher reality, Bhagavan has given the greatest technique, Mahavakya, which opens the Dvadashanta. There are 12 energy centers in your body, and it opens the Dvadashanta like a key, which opens a huge temple and opens into a new space for you. Same way, when you start chanting the Mahavakya continuously, you open that into the higher reality. So we'll be going to chant the Mahavakya continuously as we do the power manifestation, which increases the integrity. Bhagavan's integrity with Paramashiva is very high. So he is able to flow in us. But when we raise the integrity in us with Bhagavan, it flows through us as Shakti. So that is where the Shakti starts manifesting. So now let's go to the instruction. Here we have the power of remote vision. How Sanjaya was able to see, or the other devotees were able to see. Today we are going to be able to see something happening, or a situation or an event very far off places where you have no idea or no knowledge about it. You can write few questions, just 3 questions, and you're going to write down the answer for these questions from your third eye, whatever Bhagavan reveals during this beautiful space of oneness which is going to happen to all of us. And during that time, whatever we write down, at the end, take a picture, clear photo with a timestamp of that when you write. And after that, let's Google, once the Mahavakya, the timer is off of each cycle, we can start doing the Googling of the information to verify and take a screenshot or the picture of the Google responses for the questions that you have. First, we will sit down with the closed eyes on a floor in Padmasana or in general, whichever is comfortable for you. As far as possible, the power manifestation is a ritual. If you can sit on the ground, that will be much nice. And if you can keep your head, neck and spine in a straight line for the Kundalini energy to move to your third eye and experience the higher reality. Each of us, the reflection happens in us more prominent where we are, mostly in Mooladhara, Swadhisthana and Manipura. That is the first three chakras down below, which we experience all the time, which is desire, greed, stress, worry or fear. But there is something beyond that. We can experience the reflection of consciousness into higher reality, which is the Agnya, the third eye, the center between your eyebrows. That will happen when you keep your head, neck and spine in a straight line all the time without leaning back. If you can sit straight, that's the most beautiful thing. If you can remember Bhagwan in your third eye, the ultimate space opens in you. And from the space of absolute unclutching and Tyaga. Tyaga is what? Tyaga is not sacrifice, but letting go what you are seeing as your perception for your higher reality experience. Letting go which you are not. That creates the purpose, the higher purpose that you are, the consciousness, the Paramashiva that you are, you start experiencing. So unclutching from whatever you see as your reality and having completely an appointment with Bhagwan himself as oneness space with Bhagwan, simple integrity with Bhagwan, experiencing the oneness. If you can visualize the darshan inside your inner space and holding on to that and chanting the Mahavakya, like your whole being vibrates with the Mahavakya, you will see something beyond happening in all of you. Here, you can take a video or a screenshot of what you write down at the end of it, each cycle, and you can start posting it. Once we are done, we will help you to tell you where to post it. Again, we are going to be seeing through remote vision. We are going to sit and pen down few questions, like for example, in China, what is the tallest mountain name? I'm just going to have this question. So when I see through the remote vision, I see a beautiful mountain, I draw the mountain, I draw the details, and I get the word starting with, say, chi. And I write on that, and it's end with the. So I write down that. And like this, I have 3 questions which I write down. And after I finish, I Google and check the details, and I get the same details of the highest mountain, which is looking very much the way I drew it and the word that I started with and ended with. So then I have manifested the power of remote vision. You can write any happening, or even in your own community, in your people, some house specific things, or you want an event to be seen, you can simply see through the remote vision. So please go ahead, the right 3 questions, and let's start the power manifestation with the oneness capsule. You can keep your eyes open. You can completely merge with the oneness capsule that you will be seeing. Just seeing the oneness capsule, you will be raised in your frequency to experience the higher reality, and chanting the Mahavakya loudly as much as you can hear and vibrating with this. This is the most important. See, you go to a temple, and when you go to a temple, you pray for something and you come back. But whatever you pray starts happening in you. The way you connect to the deity will be completely different. Each power manifestation is like that. You start experiencing the higher reality when you start connecting to the higher consciousness. So let's start with the beautiful space of oneness. Now we are going to have a timer of 21 minutes, the first cycle, and you're going to write all these 3 questions that you want. And let's start chanting the Mahavakya. We'll be playing the oneness video and chanting Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
See yourself as 25-headed, 50-handed Paramashiva, as eternally 16, youthful. Commit with Paramashiva. Only He exists. Anything else is delusion. Now, sit straight. We'll enter into the process. Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eye.
Nithyananda, such a beautiful space. Whatever you have seen through your third eye that Bhagavan has revealed as you chant the Mahavakya, hold the oneness space into the powerful cognition of complete unclutching, absolute unclutching. The intensity and the continuity is important to break the tiredness and boredom again and again to experience the oneness. The Mahavakya, unclutching, doing the Tyaga of what it is not, and continuously holding that oneness space opens the Vedashanta, the ultimate reality for us. If you have not yet seen, that's perfectly okay. Power manifestation will simply happen. Only thing, when we have the will persistence. What is will persistence? The will, when do we write a will? When we decide that we want to give something and somebody is going to experience that. That is a will. When we are very clear that it is happening in our life. We have seen it happen, we have experienced it happen. When you're very clear, you are making sure it is going to happen. Like somebody says, can you walk? Can you talk? Yes, that's perfectly fine. What is there? I see myself walk. As I speak itself, you're able to see that happening in your life. That is the will, sankalpa. Seeing that possibility happening as reality in you. The next is the persistence. Have the persistence to make that reality into your existential reality and your lifestyle itself. That is power manifestation. Now, again we'll have a 10 minutes short cycle to manifest these 3 questions that we have written, the level 1. And we will have the will persistent, the sankalpa, that this is going to manifest from the space of Paramashiva in me by connecting to Paramashiva in deep oneness. Again and again, bring the darshan that the oneness capsule is giving us into your inner space. Only appointment with you and Bhagavan. Again and again when the thought comes, do the tyaga, which is not real. The Tyaga of the thoughts is the ultimate Tyaga that Bhagavan says, which is not real, which is leading us only to delusion and confusion. Beyond that, the existential reality, who is looking at the thoughts, who is experience all this, will take us to the higher reality. So let's experience the consciousness as the ultimate reality. The Paramashiva, who is inside us, is initiated for us to experience. Let's connect to Paramashiva and start expressing the Shakti, the power manifestation through us. So let's start the oneness capsule and chant the Mahavakya intensely and continuously. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Please continue the power manifestation. We'll be playing the oneness capsule and chanting the Mahavakya.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eye. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us.
Paramashivam, Paramashivam, Paramashivam.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the power in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Paramashivam, Paramashivam.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eye. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us.
Paramashivam, 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 Paramashivam.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the power in all our third eye. Om Paramashivam. Nithyananda 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 Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eye. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us.
Nithyananda, so beautiful. Such a wonderful space of our manifestation of first cycle. You can now record this for NTV viewers. We are going to post where you can view this and record this, the before and after picture. Once you Google and find out, we will be now showing you where you can post it. This is for only NTV viewers. So you have this, sorry for the technical. Sorry for the technical issue. This is, you're going to post it in the Facebook. Sri Kailaasa Courtyard Manifesting Power Group. This is for only NTV viewers. We'll be finishing with this cycles for the NTV viewers. You can go to the Facebook and search for Sri Kailaasa Courtyard Manifesting Power Group. In that group, you can join and post your results of what you have experienced through this power manifestation. You become the Shakshi Pramana, the Leela of Bhagwan, manifesting in all of us, is happening so beautiful today as remote vision. So for NTV viewers, we'll see you tomorrow for the next power manifestation. And for the India zone, who is continuing the power manifestation into the next cycles. So the Acharya for the India zone will be now giving us the poll detail and letting us know how to update the poll and how we'll be manifesting the next level of powers. So please be tuned. We will let you know through the Acharya how you can manifest the next level of power manifestation. And NTV viewers, if you would like to join the power manifestation for the next levels and the exciting program which is happening, the Paramashivam, you can join in and experience the ultimate reality, the ultimate oneness which happens the more and more you go through all these processes, how we study from first standard to our degree, which is 24 years of our lifetime. All these level to level Bhagwan is giving in Paramashivam that we are now projecting. You can join the Paramashivam program even now and experiencing the next level of consciousness. Thank you very much for a beautiful experience today. Nithyananda.